night, his second 50-point game in less than a week's time. Took over in the third quarter against the Washington Wizards when he scored 19 of his 50 overall, 18 of 25 from the field for his 14th career 50-point game. That is tied for sixth all-time with the great Rick Barry. And check this number out. Highest points per game average for a player in his 19th season. LeBron far and away the leader in that category. More than double what the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had in his 19th year. I mean, 15 points a game roughly in your 19th season, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and for LeBron James, it's even more because, Matt, he's not known as a natural scorer. But you look at this year, he's done more scoring than at any point in his career. And look, the Lakers need it all. Unfortunately, the wins are coming far too few.
Yep, they needed it last night, and he seemed to recognize that. He had 5 assists in the first half, only 1 in the second half because he took over the scoring load. Channing, you played with the man. How much, if anything, does this surprise you that at age 37, LeBron can summon these sorts of nights when he needs them?
Zero. This does not surprise me at all. I think he lends itself. He's so good, he can be whatever you need him to be. I think at the beginning of this season, you saw him play in the 5-man. Right, he was playing the center position, and then now he's leading the league in scoring. And I think for him, he leads the league in scoring because he's the smartest player to play in the NBA. He takes care of his body, he knows his spots, and when his jumper is hitting, it's almost impossible to guard him. He's been shooting the 3 better. He's been taking his time. Now he's in the screen and roll, getting easy layups. And then for me, he's posting up and being a lot more patient. I don't know how long he can continue to do this, and I say that very kind of cautiously, but I don't know how much he's going to have in the tank. We just talked about it off the air. He's third in minutes played, which is crazy. So for him to do that, and you expect him to have another level for the playoffs, I think he's just doing this to keep that team afloat until Anthony Davis or Russell Westbrook, snap out of whatever they're in, whether they're injuries or just in a little funk.
Well, with all that in mind, Sam, what should LeBron's approach be here down the stretch? They're 9th in the Western Conference. They're unlikely to catch the Clippers for 8th. They're just too far back. And they're unlikely to fall out of the whole thing. How much should he be playing, and how much should he be considering what's left for the postseason, whatever that looks like?
Well, they're 2-8 since All-Star break, and it's unlikely, but you still have to win some games.
Yeah.
I mean, we keep assuming that the teams below them are not going to play better. Look, New Orleans was coming.
Yep.
And then C.J. McCollum got put in the, I think, COVID protocol, and then Brandon Ingram got a slight hamstring. So that has kind of stalled them for now, and it's giving the Lakers a break. But if the Lakers don't take advantage of this short lull that the Pelicans has given them right now, they can be tough. I mean, you look at this right now. New Orleans is only, look, they're 2.5 games back, something like that. They had closer. In theory, you would think New Orleans can't catch them. But if the Lakers don't start winning, look, if they can't at least play 500 ball going forward, Matt, then they can be called. They at least got to play 500 basketball. 2-8, last 10. Anybody can catch you. You're playing that bad.
Yeah, last night's win was just their 3rd in the last 12 games.
Yeah, anybody can catch you.
And you play deep into your 30s. How remarkable is this, that he can still have these sorts of nights, seemingly whenever he needs to?
Man, I played until I was 39. Now, I was a role player at that point, but you talking about the load. Playing 35-plus minutes a night. Tied for the league
right
and
now.
scoring at 37 years old. You can do it. The question for LeBron James is that this is not what he wants to do.
Right.
He's doing what he's got to do to give his team a chance to win, but the best version of LeBron James is not leading the league in scoring. Look, it's great that he can still do that after 19 years and 37 years of age, but look at their record right now. 29-37. We're talking about a LeBron James Laker team that was picked to maybe even win the West. So he's doing what he got to do to keep them afloat. The only question is, Matt, he's playing so many minutes and playing so hard and putting so much wear on his body. Come playoff time, he's got the play-in tournament, and then from there, then you're going to have either 1 or 2 seed to deal with. It's going to be tough for the Lakers.
Channing, what's the ceiling for the Lakers, assuming they hold on and get into the play-in? Let's say they win their way into a first-round series. If they're all healthy, how good can they be, or is this simply too flawed a roster to really make any sort of noise?
I'm going to be honest, Matt. I have to say they're still going to lose. When have we ever seen this team play not hurt, right? For you to say, oh, well, this guy's healthy or this guy's going to magically get it, right? I think to go back to the LeBron thing, is like,
LeBron is saying, no matter what happens, it's going to be my fault. Russell Westbrook's not playing well. It's my fault that I asked him to get there. The Lakers aren't winning. Well, I need to do more. So LeBron is putting full metal to the pedal, right? Right. And so for me, to all of a sudden expect them to become this wonderful team,
going to happen. So especially versus the Suns or any other good team in the top 3 in the West.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine, as good as the Suns have been if Chris Paul's back, it's hard to imagine, first of all, the Suns losing to anybody in a first-round series. But the Lakers just haven't shown the ability to consistently defend or be good in a half-court offense.
Well, we act like come playoff time, the Lakers all of a sudden going to have this boatload of confidence.
Right.
I mean, playing good basketball is not just being healthy, it's being healthy up here. Do you have the confidence in your game? Does Russell Westbrook, look, if they don't figure out how to build Russell Westbrook confidence back up by the play-in time, then they may not survive that. You cannot, they need him too much. They're not going to win many games with Russell Westbrook like he did the other night, scoring 5 points. They need more from him. And look, it's the Lakers' job to get him in the right frame of mind, because if Russ is questioning himself, Anthony Davis coming off an injury, he's going to have question marks in his mind. LeBron James is the only guy really healthy mentally and physically. It's just not enough. If they're going to have any chance at all, they better get Westbrook back on track, or they're just not going to win, because there's no one on that bench that's better than Russell.
Right. Quickly, before we go to break, what does that conversation sound like for Frank Vogel, for the other team leaders with Russell Westbrook, to get him in the right state of mind for a postseason run?
It's not a conversation. It's just when the game is going, you feed him and you keep encouraging him to be like himself. If I was Frank Vogel, I would tell Russ, go back to being Russ, live with some of those turnovers for this reason. LeBron James he and Russ are 1 and 2 in turnovers, all right? So stop putting all this on Russ when the ball is turned over. They're 1 and 2. Both of them need to be better with talent in the basketball. That being said, I can live with a couple of turnovers from Russell Westbrook if he's playing the way Russ normally plays.
Lakers back at work tomorrow in Phoenix, where, by the way, LeBron will be 2 assists shy of becoming the first player in NBA history to have 30,000 career points, 10,000 career rebounds, and 10,000 career
triple-double, right?
assists. The triple-double.
That's the all-time triple-double.
Yes. More coming up here, including a look back at the remarkable career of Kevin Garnett on the eve of his number retirement in Boston. Giannis Antetokounmpo and the champs are rolling at the right time in the stretch run here of the NBA season. They've won 6 in a row as they look to sweep the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco, a game that tips off in about 40 minutes time or so. Steph Curry looking sharp, trying to turn things around for the Warriors, who are about to get Draymond Green back in the lineup. They've won a couple after a 5-game losing streak. Try to split that season series with Milwaukee tonight. Welcome into our NBA TV world.